So, with 2020 shaping up to be possibly one of the worst years we have seen in a very long time, in a year where it looks to be that anything can go, it can be hard to think that things couldn't get much worse than it is now. However, a recent study did show that more than half of people in the United States who participated in this study said that they thought civil war was imminent. And also, more than half of those who participated said that they were actively preparing for civil war. When it comes to civil war, you really only have a few options. Option 1, you can fight. Option 2, you don't fight. Option 3, you just leave. Now let's talk a little bit about option number 2. Do nothing or not participate. So by not participating in a civil war, you're basically just saying you want to be left alone, you want to do your own thing, you don't want to be a part of all the craziness. Well, even if you take this option, conflict may still find you. And in this case, if you stay at your home, you're going to want to make sure that it is fortified. One of the first steps that you can do in taking measures to make sure your home is fortified is replacing the screws that hold your door in place. Get 3-inch long screws, something that'll screw in past the door frame. It's going to hold the door in a lot better than a regular screw. Another thing, fence off your property. I'm not talking chain link fence, I'm talking privacy fence. This gives you added protection as it's harder for people to see inside. You're going to want to make sure that you can see outside, however. So another thing you're going to want to look into is getting wireless security cameras. I have wireless security cameras and I use Wise. They're Wi-Fi, you can view them on your phone. It can record audio, it can record video, you can view live feed from it, and it'll save triggered events. You can get multiple of these cameras and place them around different parts of your perimeter. Just make sure that they are within Wi-Fi reach, or else it's not going to work. Another thing you can do, it's not going to look quite as pretty, but it is effective, that's boarding up your windows. Now this is really, I would say this really only would take place is if things get really bad in your immediate area. You can always put bars on your window. It doesn't look quite as nice as a regular clean window, but it looks a whole lot better than a boarded up window. The bars makes it really hard for somebody to get in, and you can still see out. Or you could probably do both. Remember, when it comes to the interior of your home, you know it better than anyone that is breaking into it knows it. So you have the upper hand, even if it comes to multiple intruders. If your state permits it, I would definitely recommend getting a few different firearms. A handgun, a shotgun, and a rifle. Now, I don't personally have a shotgun because I don't really need one, as my handgun is going to be plenty enough for the small apartment that I live in. And not only that, my apartment is heavily fortified as it is. When it comes to the outside area immediately next to your house, I would say don't have any bushes or shrubs or anything like that that an intruder could hide in that could easily mask their presence being there. So you're going to want everything pretty open next to your house. That way you can see everything that's going on. Now, one concept to think of is make it hard for people to see inside, but make it easy for you to see outside. One thing you can do is you could ask a friend to say, hey, I want to test my security, my defenses at my house. I want you to attempt to break through my securities. I want you to try to get into my home without me noticing. And in doing this, you're going to discover any weak spots in your home defense. Now, obviously, don't shoot the guy, but this will definitely show you any weak spots. Now, if things get too bad in your area and you have to bug out, just remember, you want to make sure that you have an excellent bug out location and a safe way to get there. Now, if it is full-blown Civil War and the streets are not safe, consider taking back roads, or if you have a four-wheel drive, consider taking no roads. Make your own way there if possible, because roads are going to be some of the more dangerous places during a civil war. You're going to want to make sure that your bug out location is fortified as well, and that it is not very visible to the outside world. Now, you don't even need to own a bug out location. If you absolutely 100% need a bug out, your life depends on it, without rule of law, civil war is going on, then you need to find a place on the map right now. You need to locate somewhere that you can go, that you think that will be safe enough, even if it's in the middle of the woods. You're going to need to figure out where you're going to go, how you're going to get there, and how long you plan on staying there. Then you're going to need to know what you're going to need to do to survive in that area. So you're going to want to research the local plants, wildlife, any threats, where the nearest water is, how much woods there are, etc. Bugging out kind of ties into option number 3, which is leave. Now, there's different ways that you can leave, and obviously one of them is what I just talked about, bugging out. And the other option for leaving is fleeing the country in general. Now, I'm not going to say how you can flee the country or how you can enter another country illegally. I'm not suggesting you enter another country illegally. However, the southern border is hot in the summertime, and the northern border is cold in the wintertime. Take it for what it is. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Y'all have a good one.